What's up, everybody? It is Mary Beth Eversole, the allergy actress, and I am here today with a very old and special friend, Erin Spiva. She is my best friend's cousin, but we have become friends over the years, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So, and we are here today doing something really cool. But first, I want to tell you about Erin. So, Erin is a trained chef, and she works. Where do you work at now?
I work at Cerner.
Cerner, and specifically the company is
American Dining Creations.
American Dining Creations. She is also a super mom of a little one, Bobby, who has peanut allergies. Yeah? And she also works with special diets like all the time. So I'm so excited to have you here today, Erin.
Thank you.
Okay,
I'm really excited.
I know, right? Yeah. So what are we making today? It's a variation on something that's very popular this time of year.
Especially around the holidays. Everybody has peanut brittle, and it's something that I love to eat, but I always have to be aware of when I go out with my daughter and we're somewhere and they have tins of it. So I make a version of it, and I use pumpkin seeds. But you can also use sesame seeds, or if you don't have a peanut allergy, but you can eat other things like cashews or something, you can sub cashews in. So you can do a lot with it. You don't have to just use peanuts. Yeah. So we're going to do a pumpkin seed brittle, and it's really, really good.
I'm so excited. Okay, so you ready for the ingredients?
Yes.
All right, let's get to it. Okay, you ready for the ingredients?
Oh yeah.
I'm so ready.
My favorite part.
I know. It's fun to talk about, and especially on the show, we have to talk about the ingredients because there's so many things that I can't have and so many things that our audience just, you know, everybody has just so many allergies now. Do you know there's 17 million people with diagnosed food allergies?
No.
In America alone, and another 15 million in Europe, and that's just diagnosed. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. That's insane. Okay, anyway, let's get back to this lovely, it smells so good right now. I smell that vanilla. I'm like, oh.
It's the sugar in the vanilla.
I know.
It kind of makes me excited.
Eat it. Okay, so why don't we start with the syrup?
Yeah, okay, so we're going to use brown rice syrup today.
And how much of that?
We're going to do about 4 ounces of brown rice syrup, and you can use corn syrup. I would normally use corn syrup because I always have it. You can also use maple syrup, you could use molasses, you can kind of use what you like.
Can you use honey?
Yeah, you can use honey. Honey is very, very sweet though, so if you're going to use honey, I would probably cut it down just a little bit, or make your first batch with honey and see if it's not too sweet. Yeah. But honey will work as well. Anything with that consistency is fine. Just 4 ounces of something that has a really...
Consistency like syrup on pancakes.
Exactly.
All right. Excellent. Okay, so then how about the pumpkin seeds, which are also called pepitas, right? These may not look like pumpkin seeds to you because the pumpkin seeds out of the pumpkin are white, yeah? Yep. You pull them out. That's actually the shell. This is what's inside. And I chose to get roasted, but not salted.
Yeah. So. Roasted is better, and you want a cup of pumpkin seeds. Roasted, it's going to have a little bit more flavor, especially since we've taken the peanuts out of this, so you want something that's going to taste a little bit more like a roasted peanut.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So and then we're going for the brown sugar.
The brown sugar.
Yes. Any kind of brown sugar will work. This is organic brown sugar. We're using about half a cup of it. It's a sweet recipe, so there's going to be a lot of sugar in it.
Speaking of sugar, yes.
And that's what also smells pretty good.
Yes, and we have more sugar. The white granulated sugar, and this happens to be the organic cane sugar, but you can use any white sugar, right? Well, not powdered.
Anything will work. Just half a cup of any white sugar.
Yeah.
It can be baker's sugar, it can be organic white sugar, it can be regular granulated sugar, it's fine.
Just whatever, because it's all going to melt.
Yep.
You know, and it's going to wrap itself around those pumpkin seeds, and then you're going to be like, yes. Okay, then we have the butter.
We're going to use, today, a teaspoon of vegan butter spread, but you can use regular butter if that's what you like, if that's what you prefer. This is going to taste just as good. Teaspoon of vegan butter spread, or any kind of butter you like.
Yummy.
Yep.
I like butter. Do you know my sister told me I used to eat butter, like straight, when I was little?
Just a stick of butter?
Yes. I seriously...
Can you eat butter now?
I know I can. This is the vegan, but it was hilarious because I don't remember doing that, and
that's why you can't, because you're eating it by the stick.
I don't remember doing it, and I'm like, I did not eat butter. Like I say that to her all the time, and she's like, you did, and I'm like, ew. So gross myself out. Anyway, okay.
That's what sisters are for, to remind you of the stuff you don't want to be
really.
reminded of.
Yep. Thanks, Christy. Okay, so then we have baking soda, generic, regular baking soda.
Yep.
Yeah.
A teaspoon of baking soda. And it sounds weird, but you need this for the bubbles. You need bubbles and brittle, or else it's not going to be thick and crispy. And we'll talk about the bubbles later, but you need that.
I like bubbles.
Yes.
Okay, and then the thing that I'm smelling, have been smelling, we're going to be doing shots of this later. This is our medicine for the day.
Yep.
Is the organic, gluten-free vanilla extract.
Yep.
That's good.
And that's how you can tell I have a kid with allergies, because we constantly do Benadryl, so I have a lot of these
right here it says allergy right there.
Laying around, and it was perfect for our vanilla today,
yes, so. we have an allergy and we need to take vanilla.
Exactly. So our teaspoon of vanilla extract is exactly how much Benadryl she would take if she starts to get hives or something. So it works out.
Yes, yes, and that's that can be a first. If you don't have an EpiPen, that leads me to something that's really important about peanut allergies, especially because they are so strong. You should probably have an EpiPen if you have a peanut allergy. Mine is slight. I am allergic to peanuts, but I only break out in hives. I don't have the breathing issues with it. So
we always carry both an antihistamine as well as the EpiPen, because the antihistamine is what we go to first to see if that's going to make something better. So that's why we have a lot of these, which is now my vanilla extract.
Exactly. So, okay, well, let's get cooking, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to be your ingredient person. So this is step 1 of making this brittle. And you had told me that it takes a little time for that sugar to...
It does. You want to be careful with sugar.
Yes.
Sugar is a little temperamental.
Okay.
So that's why I've made a double boiler, which is just a saucepan with a little bit of water in it. And I put a glass bowl on it. You need to put a bowl. That's going to be fine on top. So the first thing that we're going to do is put our regular granulated sugar in there.
And we have a sous chef with us now.
We do.
Miss Bobby.
She's going to be our stirrer.
This is our child that has peanut allergies, but
you can go ahead. Just
she's stir extraordinaire. She's our sous chef.
She's really good at it. Okay, then you're going to do the brown sugar. You're going to put that in there as well.
Nice bracelet. I like it.
Oh, thank you.
So we're stirring, and so we put the brown sugar, the sugar, and
exactly. And all it is a bowl that's getting hot by the steam underneath. So it's a really easy way to not burn things.
Yes.
If you want to melt chocolate, if you want to melt sugar, do it this way, and it's kind of foolproof for the most part. You can't walk away for an hour and it'll be fine, but it gives you a little bit of leeway if you kind of forget what you're doing.
It's especially nice for chocolate because chocolate seizes up so quickly.
Chocolate will look fine until it's not fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have our granulated sugar, we have our brown sugar, and now we're going to put in our brown rice syrup.
Yes.
Or corn syrup, whatever you're using. So
yes. And our
get
sous
that
chef
in
is
there.
Cracking the whip.
Exactly. She's ready.
She's like, get that in there.
She's stirring. Oh, because she wants to eat it, let's be honest.
Me too.
She's not doing this because she wants to be helpful as much as she wants to eat this.
Isn't that the point of cooking?
Yeah.
To eat it?
Well, that's why I started cooking. I want her to eat some good food. Okay, so we're just going to keep stirring this. It's going to look like a big mess for a while until it doesn't look like a big mess. But you have to keep an eye on it.
Okay.
And you have to keep stirring it.
Okay.
Slowly it'll start melting. You can do this in the microwave too.
Ooh.
The microwave is a real easy way if you don't want to do all of this, but the microwave cook things really hot and really fast.
Too high.
Bobby's our star today.
Yes. She's very, very interested in this, again, because she gets to eat it.
Yes. And it looks good. So we're probably going to go away for a few minutes so that this can cook down right.
Yes.
And then we'll come back and talk you through more of the process.
Yes. And we'll show you what it's going to look like when you're ready to add the next step.
Absolutely. Okay. See you soon. this looks like peanut butter almost, except
Yes.
that it's not. So,
Yes.
okay,
Starting
so
to get nice and melty. We got our brown rice syrup and our sugars in there. It's starting to look really nice and shiny, and you can tell when the sugar starts to dissolve because it's not quite so grainy, but it's going to keep cooking when you add the pumpkin seeds in there.
yeah. And just FYI, brown rice syrup takes a little longer than corn syrup to cook. So you want to keep that in mind when you're doing this.
It takes a while to get hot.
But it will get there.
Yes. Eventually.
Eventually.
But don't walk away.
Yeah, don't walk away from it. Keep stirring it.
Have your friends in the kitchen and do something at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it takes a little bit.
Let them drink wine. Maybe you don't drink wine yet, but
There's a lot of steam and hot things happening,
Right,
so
you don't
keep
want
your
that.
wits about you. All right, let's
Okay.
add these in here.
we've got the pumpkin seeds going in. I'm looking forward to the bubbling section.
Yeah. It is kind of fun because it's also a little scary.
Oh. Well, what's cooking if it's not scary?
Exactly.
Right? Kind of live on the edge just a little bit, right?
So just get these nice and stirred in there. It's kind of hard because it's very thick, so you just want to keep stirring it so you can make sure the pumpkin seeds are dispersed throughout that.
And I have a question because you were lifting the bowl every once in a while for the steam. Is that to just let that steam out?
Yeah, if it seems like it's getting too hot, I mean, you can turn it down, but it's kind of trapped in there by the bowl. But you want to be careful because obviously steam burns are worse than a regular burn.
Yeah.
Just because it's immediate. So if you're going to lift the bowl, definitely do it away from your face.
Smart.
I learned that the hard way.
Unless you want a new burn facial.
Exactly.
So while we're stirring, I would love for you to share a little bit. I know it's a little bit on the harder, more difficult side of talking about allergies, but I would love for you to share a little bit about the peanut allergy, what your experience has been with your daughter and having to deal with like going to the hospitals, like the plane that you told me you were on.
Yeah, I mean, when we first found out she had a peanut allergy, it was just she was allergic to actually eating a peanut. She can still be around people that are eating them, touch them, and it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, outside of that she can't eat peanuts. But,
Right.
After a few times where she's ingested one and been to the hospital, her allergy tends to get worse. So
Because of anaphylaxis.
Yeah,
Which
so-
every time you have anaphylaxis, it's worse the next
Yeah.
time.
So she's had 2 times where she's had anaphylaxis, and then after that her allergy gets a little bit worse, but you don't know what the worst is going to be. So the last time we were flying, which normally I tell the airline that she has a peanut allergy, they don't have to clean the plane. She can be in the
Right.
plane and it's fine. But the last time they didn't serve peanuts on the plane, but it's just the proximity and enough of it in the air and the fact that she already had anaphylaxis a couple of times. She broke out in hives everywhere about an hour before the flight landed.
Yeah.
And that was very scary because when she starts to get hives, you don't know how severe it's going to be. So I was just looking at her body and trying to figure out what should I do. I obviously don't want to administer her EpiPen mid-flight because usually you call
You have to go to the
911
hospital, yeah.
before you administer the EpiPen so they know what to expect. So we just kept trying to dose her with antihistamines until we got on the ground. And that
she
was
promptly
a
fell
first.
asleep.
Yes, she was out. But lethargy is also a
sign.
side effect of
Yeah.
anaphylaxis. So,
As is spaciness,
Yep.
there's a lot of
so it's really horrible.
there's a lot. Well, yeah, there's I was very surprised when I first had an anaphylaxis response because it wasn't typical. I wasn't having per se breathing problems, but I did have hives go up my neck, and I felt like I had a lump in my throat, and I got really spacey. And, with anaphylaxis, there's a whole list of symptoms, and if you have 2 or more, it is considered anaphylactic. And so I would highly recommend going to the anaphylaxis. There's a national anaphylaxis website that you can go to, and read the symptoms and make sure if you're a mom of a child with peanut allergies, make sure you are educated on that, and then make sure you educate the people around you, your schools, all of that.
Yep.
So I'm sure that's been tricky with the schools too.
Oh yeah, especially because she tends to get sleepy anyways naturally at a certain point in the day, so it's sometimes hard to
Nap time.
determine and know in my own head, oh, she's just sleepy because she's 7 and she's had a long day at school,
Yeah.
or is she lethargic? Should I be concerned?
Right, and you said she's now at the point where she can respond and say, no, I'm not
and
peanut allergies.
And she tells me,
so.
well, yeah, her thing is, she says, I don't feel like peanuts right now, or whenever she's had a reaction in the past, she says, Mom, I kind of feel like peanuts, which is just her meaning she doesn't feel very good.
Yeah.
So now she says, no, I'm just tired. I don't feel like peanuts.
And it's you have to teach your child to advocate for themselves.
So it's a lot easier now.
But when they were little, when she was little.
Yeah, well, because you tend to trust people that are your caregiver or older. If they hand you something and say that you can eat it, you trust them. And that's kind of the lesson that she had to learn is, they're still a good person and they're trustworthy, but they don't understand the severity of your allergy. They just don't know.
Yeah, I had that experience with my family.
She usually just says no thank you if it's a food that she's not familiar with eating.
Right.
So it's become a lot easier for me. It's still, it makes me a little sad when she goes to birthday parties and things where she can eat the cake, but she's not had it before, so she just doesn't. And she says, no, I'm fine. And she really does seem fine with it. But it's still,
And that's it's hard as a mom, too, because, like, for me, in that situation, I would just make something for myself and take it with me. But as a mom and a full-time working mom, you can't be making cakes every time you have to
other
do it.
People think that you're being rude if you bring other food.
Exactly.
And they don't understand.
And that is the whole of this. That's why I started the show, so that I could educate and say, look, it's not because we don't like you or your food. It's because we want to be happy and live.
There's a few parties where we've been to where they've said, oh, okay, we've gone to a bakery that's completely nut free. Yeah. Because there's enough other children there that also have an allergy, and that's always kind of nice.
That is nice.
Not needed. I don't expect people to go out of their way to do that.
Absolutely.
If there's,
it's always nice
need,
though.
But she knows that she's usually not going to eat at a party.
Right.
So it's not. I'm going to grab a spoon from here real quick. We're going to add.
Sorry.
We're trying to get this so that we can eat it soon.
Right.
Okay. We're going to add the butter.
Ooh, butter.
Yes. And we're going to add the vanilla.
You have a pepita on your finger.
I know. This stuff is really sticky.
It's very sticky, yes. That's one thing. Oh my gosh, I have a story about brown rice syrup. So one time I had brown rice syrup jar that cracked in my cabinet.
Why?
I don't know. We have cats, maybe that. We also, we think, have a poltergeist. I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's the cats or the poltergeist?
Right? And it's seeped out over a period of time, and I wasn't baking over that period of time, so I wasn't looking in that cabinet. And so then one day I saw brown rice syrup dripping down the side of my cabinet.
Did it ever come off?
It's still a little sticky there today.
So sticky. If I don't finish this soon, I might
You're gonna be sticking to the wall.
Everything. It's got to be done soon.
It has to be. Be done. Be done. We still have the best part to go.
I know.
The soda.
We're getting it there. It's
not real soda, not like Coke or something. Just baking soda.
In Kansas, it's pop.
Oh, pop. Well, I grew up here. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now that I've been here as long as I have, which is only 4 or 5 years, I've started calling it pop, and everybody makes fun of me.
See, and I moved to Colorado, and I started calling it soda. Shout out to my Colorado peeps.
Right.
So. Okay. So we're going to continue to stir this for a little while.
Yep. We're almost there. Now we're going to add the baking soda. And it's going to get a little bit lighter in color if my hands don't stick to the jar.
Hopefully it reacts like it's supposed to.
Oh, the baking soda is going to make it have some bubbles in it, which will give it a little bit of thickness too.
Oh, that's where it comes from. Because, we all look at peanut brittle and it's really thick, and you bite into it and you're like, it's very thick and yummy. So
see my hands sticking to the spatula.
So I have a question about your kitchen. Did you have to allergy proof your kitchen when you first found out about the allergy?
We did, but when we first found out, she was 1.5.
Okay.
So she wasn't eating a ton of food anyway, so it was still kind of new.
And how did you find out that she had it?
We went to the grocery. We had an organic grocery store by our house that I was just stopping by there to see if I wanted anything. And then we had our normal grocery store, a few stores down, and she was in the little shopping cart with me, and they had a waffle sample that had some kind of like a fancy Valencia peanut salt butter, whatever, and it was on top of the waffle square, and I didn't think anything of it, and I handed it to her. And then we left the store right after that, so she still had it in her hand, and I put her in her car seat, and then we were going to head to our normal grocery store. And when I pulled her out of the car at the normal grocery store, which only took us like, I don't know, maybe a minute to get there, both of her eyes were swollen, and she had hives all over her face, but she was a tiny baby.
Terrifying.
So yeah, I freaked out, but I'm at the grocery store, so I called our pediatrician, and I ran into the store at the same time because I figured, well, they're gonna have like
something, Benadryl, something.
So I ran down that aisle, and the doctor told me what to give her, and then said, okay, we'll give her this, and then try to get her in the car and come here, and if it gets worse while I'm driving and trying to look at her in the rearview mirror, then call 911. But her doctor wasn't far. We made it there, and then it just from there, then went to the allergist. Yeah, we didn't have any idea until then. They said, yeah, she's very allergic to peanuts. So
joy.
Yeah.
But you know,
so real quick, this has got a little bit lighter in color.
Yes,
and
it
if
has.
you can see, there's those little bubbles in there.
Oh, there are bubbles.
Yes, you don't want to keep stirring it after you see a lot of those bubbles, because then you'll kind of flatten, you'll burst all the bubbles, and then it'll be really thin,
that
little
makes
brittle.
sense. Okay.
So now that this is nice and light, and I can tell that there's enough air in there, is when you want to get your pan. I've coated my pan.
Yes.
With some of the vegan butter spread.
Yes.
But you can also use parchment paper.
Okay.
If you have it. Or wax paper.
Got it.
That's good too. It makes cleanup a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any of that.
That's
so
okay.
we're going with the butter because I already had that.
And if you have a corn allergy, don't use wax paper because it is waxed in corn.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I figured that out the hard way. That was fun. But, all these little things, like there's packaging. Corn is in frozen food packaging a lot.
Gosh.
And cans, too. So, you have to be very careful about what you get if you have pre-made food. So then you said we're going to spread this out, but not too thin,
Yeah,
right?
and the thinner that you spread it, the thinner it will be. And usually peanut brittle is a little bit thicker.
Thick, yeah.
So I'm going to kind of leave mine just like that, so it stays a little bit thicker.
Because it's spreading itself out.
Exactly, because it'll keep going. So if you spread it out, it's gonna obviously it's gonna get thinner and thinner, and then we're just gonna let it cool. So
for like 10 to 20, right?
Yeah, it doesn't take too long, like 10 to 20 minutes. It'll harden up and it'll look almost like glass.
Yeah.
So where you can actually, then you could use even the edge of this and break it into pieces.
Or your fist.
Yeah.
Pow.
If you're mad, you need to get aggression out. You can just start hitting it. If you're not, you can just wait.
You could put it down on the ground and have your kitten jump all over it.
Exactly. If your kitten is very strong, like a Hulk-like kitten.
Maybe like your cat. Maybe like Salem could do that.
Yeah.
She has a very large black cat, and then she has this teeny tiny kitten named Gumball. So
yeah, I don't know that people would want to eat it
Probably
if
not.
they broke it up.
With cat hair stuff to it, right?
But you could. That's an option. To each their own. So we're gonna let.
At our house, if you find the cat hair, you won.
So we're just gonna let this cool, and then once it cools and hardens, we'll break it into pieces.
Sweet.
Then we're good to go.
And then we get to taste it.
Exactly.
And that's very exciting.
And I'll get some of it off of my hands before I stick to my house.
Okay, we'll see you on the flip side. Okay, so we're having some technical issues with the camera. Sorry about the unfocus, but I just wanted to say we're testing this right now. How does it taste?
Oh, good. I mean,
she's been eating.
Right? So many pieces, the plate's not full anymore. I didn't realize that this was our.
It's okay. I got
plate.
I got pictures. It's okay.
Okay.
But I will say, for as much sugar as in there, it's not too sweet, which I love, and it's buttery is the best way for me to describe that. And you didn't put that much butter in there.
It's a teaspoon of butter.
That's it. But it's so like
It's nice and crunchy.
And as it sits out, it does melt a little bit. Just FYI, that's why this just melted a little because I was taking pictures, and it's warm in here. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you.
You're welcome.
So much for being here. This is Erin Spiva, and daughter Bobby, who is somewhere in the background.
Ready for bed, hopefully.
Getting ready for bed. And Bobby, you want to come say goodnight? Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. This is Mary Beth Eversole, the allergy actress, with both of my special guests, signing off for now.